She looked across the table, smiled softly, and asked a question that seemed innocent enough. But in that moment, everything changed. Because what she just asked wasn't curiosity, it was a test. And most men fail it without ever knowing they were being evaluated. If you're an older man, whether you're in your late 30s, 40s, or 50s, and you've ever felt the attraction of a younger woman, you need to understand something crucial. She's not just interested in your age. She's interested in what your age represents: maturity, stability, emotional control, masculine leadership. But before she gives you her trust, before she opens herself to you, she will test you, not with drama, not with games, but with two very specific questions. And how you answer them will determine everything. Most men stumble. They over-explain. They seek approval. They try to prove themselves. And in doing so, they fail the test before they even realize what's happening. But here's the truth. These questions aren't designed to trip you up. They're designed to reveal who you really are. And if you understand the psychology behind them, if you respond with stoic calm and masculine certainty, you don't just pass the test, you become irresistible. Let me show you exactly what these two questions are, why she asks them, and how to respond in a way that makes her see you as the high-value man she's been searching for. You've been there before. You meet a woman. She's younger, maybe by 5 years, maybe by 15. There's chemistry. She laughs at your jokes. She touches your arm when she talks. She leans in when you speak. Everything feels natural, easy, exciting. But then it happens. She asks a question, and suddenly the air shifts. You feel it, that subtle pressure, that unspoken evaluation. You're not just having a conversation anymore. You're being tested. And the worst part? You don't even know what the right answer is. So you do what most men do. You answer honestly. You try to be open, vulnerable, authentic. You think that's what she wants. But the moment the words leave your mouth, you see it. That flicker in her eyes, that slight withdrawal, and you realize something went wrong. This is the hidden conflict that older men face when dating younger women. You're supposed to be the mature one, the experienced one, the one who has it all figured out. But she's testing whether that's true. And if you show even a hint of insecurity, even a trace of neediness, even a moment of seeking her validation, she loses interest. Not because she's cruel, but because she's wired to seek strength, and strength doesn't need approval. Here's what most men don't understand. When a younger woman is attracted to an older man, she's not just attracted to his age. She's attracted to what his age should have given him: wisdom, perspective, emotional discipline, the ability to remain calm when chaos surrounds him, the ability to lead without force, the ability to be present without being desperate. But age alone doesn't guarantee these qualities. Plenty of older men are just as emotionally reactive, just as approval-seeking, just as insecure as men half their age. And she knows this. So before she invests her time, her energy, her emotions, she tests you. She needs to know if you're the real deal, or just another man hiding behind years without growth. The ancient Stoics understood this principle deeply. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." She's not testing you to hurt you. She's testing you to see how you react, to see if you're governed by your emotions, or if you govern them, to see if external validation controls you, or if you possess an internal compass that remains steady no matter what storms come your way. And the beautiful part, once you understand this, the tests stop feeling like traps. They start feeling like opportunities. Opportunities to demonstrate exactly who you are. Opportunities to separate yourself from every other man she's ever met. Opportunities to show her that you're not just older, you're better. Let me give you a real example. There was this guy in his early 40s, successful career, good shape, confident in most areas of his life. He met a woman at a social gathering. She was 28, gorgeous, smart, quick-witted. They hit it off immediately. They exchanged numbers. They went out for dinner a few days later. Everything was going perfectly. The conversation flowed. The chemistry was undeniable. And then, midway through the meal, she leaned back, smiled, and asked him a question that seemed casual, almost throwaway. "So, why didn't your last relationship work?" He felt his chest tighten, not because he didn't have an answer, but because he knew this question carried weight. He could feel it. So he did what most men do. He answered honestly. He talked about his ex, about the differences they had, about how they wanted different things, about how it just didn't work out. And as he spoke, he watched her face, and he saw it. That subtle shift, that quiet evaluation. She was listening, but not to his words. She was listening to his energy, his tone, his frame. And in that moment he realized, this wasn't just a question, it was a test. Now here's what he didn't understand at the time. That question, "Why didn't your last relationship work?" is one of the two most common tests younger women use when evaluating older men. And it's not about the relationship, it's about you. Let me break it down. When she asks about your past relationship, she's not looking for details. She's not interested in a timeline of events or a list of incompatibilities. What she's really asking is this: are you still emotionally attached to your past? Do you blame others for your failures? Do you carry resentment? Or have you processed it, learned from it, and moved on with emotional maturity? Most men fail this test because they over-explain, they go into detail, they justify, they defend, and in doing so, they reveal insecurity. They reveal that they're still affected, still attached, still seeking validation that they weren't the problem. But a high-value man, a man with Stoic discipline, responds differently. He doesn't over-explain. He doesn't justify. He doesn't defend. He simply acknowledges the past without attachment, takes ownership without self-flagellation, and moves forward without dwelling. Here's how a Stoic response sounds. It didn't work out. We wanted different things. I learned a lot, and I'm grateful for the experience. That's it. No drama, no blame, no resentment, just calm acceptance. And that response does something powerful. It communicates emotional control. It communicates maturity. It communicates that you're not a man ruled by your past. You're a man shaped by it. And that's exactly what she's looking for. Now, let's talk about the second test. The second question is even more loaded, and it sounds like this. What are you looking for in a woman my age? On the surface, it seems like a simple question, an innocent inquiry. But underneath, it's a psychological minefield. Because what she's really asking is this: are you seeking me because you have a vision for your life and I fit into it? Or are you seeking me because you're desperate for validation, afraid of aging, and trying to reclaim your youth through me? This is the frame test, and it's brutal because most older men, when asked this question, immediately go into approval-seeking mode. They try to prove they're not shallow. They try to prove they're not predatory. They try to prove they're respectful and genuine. And in doing so, they lose frame. They hand her the power. They make her the evaluator and themselves the evaluated. But here's the truth. A high-value man doesn't justify his preferences. He doesn't seek approval for his desires. He doesn't apologize for being attracted to youth, beauty, or femininity, because he understands that attraction is natural. And he also understands that his value isn't determined by her approval. It's determined by his own self-possession. So when she asks, "What are you looking for in a woman my age?" the low-value response is something like this: "Well, I just think younger women are more fun, and honestly, women my age are too jaded and complicated." That answer reeks of insecurity. It reveals that he's running away from something rather than moving toward something. It reveals bitterness, defensiveness, low self-awareness. The high-value response sounds more like this: "I'm looking for someone who's vibrant, curious, and open to growth. Age is just one factor. What matters to me is energy, connection, and shared values." Notice what just happened. He didn't justify. He didn't seek approval. He didn't apologize. He simply stated his truth with calm confidence, and that's magnetic, because it reveals that he's not trying to prove anything. He's not chasing validation. He's simply living according to his own internal compass. And that's the ultimate display of masculine frame. Let me give you another example. A few years ago, someone I know met a woman at a networking event. He was in his mid-40s. She was in her late 20s. They talked for a while. The chemistry was obvious. They exchanged numbers and met up for coffee the following week. During the conversation, she challenged him. Not aggressively, but playfully. She asked him about his lifestyle, about why he worked so hard, about whether he ever took time to just enjoy life. And then she said something pointed. "You seem like the kind of guy who's always chasing something. Do you ever just stop?" Now, most men would hear that and immediately feel defensive. They'd feel judged, criticized, and they'd respond by justifying their choices, by explaining why they work hard, by seeking her approval for their lifestyle. But this guy understood the game. He understood that this wasn't criticism, it was a test. She was testing his frame, testing whether he needed her approval, testing whether he could remain calm and self-assured even when challenged. So instead of defending himself, he smiled, paused, and said, "I chase things that matter to me, and I stop when I choose to, not when someone tells me I should." And just like that, the energy shifted. She leaned in, she smiled, and the attraction intensified. Why? Because he didn't react. He didn't seek approval. He didn't hand over his frame. He remained grounded in his own reality, and that's what she was looking for all along. Now, let's go deeper. Why do younger women test older men in the first place? What's the psychological reason behind this behavior? Here's the truth. When a younger woman is attracted to an older man, she's seeking something she can't find in men her own age. She's seeking emotional stability, leadership, a sense of calm authority, freedom from the insecurity and neediness that plague younger men. She's seeking a man who doesn't need her validation to feel good about himself. A man who's already built his life and is simply inviting her to be part of it. But here's the catch. She can't just take your word for it. She needs proof. Because plenty of older men talk a good game. They present themselves as mature, stable, and confident, but the moment they're challenged, the moment they're tested, their insecurity reveals itself. So she tests you, not consciously, not maliciously, but instinctively, because her attraction depends on your ability to remain unshaken. Her desire depends on your emotional control. Her respect depends on your frame. And if you fail the test, if you seek her approval, if you over-explain, if you show neediness, she loses attraction. Not because she's shallow, but because you just proved you're not the man she thought you were. But if you pass the test, if you remain calm, grounded, and self-assured, something powerful happens. She stops testing, she relaxes, she opens up, because you've proven that you're the real deal. You've proven that your age has given you wisdom, that your experience has given you emotional discipline, that your maturity is real, and that's when the dynamic shifts. She's no longer evaluating you, she's pursuing you. The Stoics had a principle for this. They called it the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that we should focus only on what we can control, our thoughts, our reactions, our character, and let go of what we cannot control, other people's opinions, external events, outcomes. When she tests you, she's presenting you with something outside your control, her perception, her judgment, her approval, and the moment you try to control it, the moment you seek her validation, you've already lost, because you've revealed that you're governed by external forces, not internal strength. But when you remain indifferent to her approval, when you respond from a place of self-possession rather than neediness, you demonstrate Stoic mastery, and that's the ultimate attraction trigger. Let me be clear. Indifference doesn't mean coldness. It doesn't mean disrespect. It doesn't mean arrogance. It means you're not attached to the outcome. You're not desperate for her approval. You're not threatened by her tests. You're simply being yourself, with or without her validation. And that's what makes you irresistible. So how do you actually respond when she asks these two questions? Let me give you a practical framework, a 3-step process you can use in real time. Step 1. Pause. Don't react immediately. When she asks a loaded question, take a breath. Create space. This does 2 things. First, it prevents you from reacting emotionally. Second, it communicates that you're not rattled, that you're calm, that you're in control. Step 2. Answer simply. Don't over-explain. Don't justify. Don't defend. Give a short, clear, honest answer and then stop talking. Silence is powerful. It forces her to fill the space, and it prevents you from rambling into approval-seeking territory. Step 3. Redirect. After you've answered, shift the focus. Ask her a question. Move the conversation forward. Don't dwell on the test. Don't analyze it. Don't make it a big deal. Just move on. This communicates that you're unfazed, that you're not attached, that you're leading the interaction. Let's apply this to the first test question. Why didn't your last relationship work? Pause. Breathe. Then say, we wanted different things. I learned a lot. What about you? What's the most important thing you've learned from past relationships? Simple, honest, non-defensive, and then you redirect. You don't dwell, you don't over-explain, you just move forward. Now let's apply it to the second test question. What are you looking for in a woman my age? Pause, smile, then say, I'm looking for someone who's curious, passionate, and knows what she wants. Age is just a number. What matters is energy and connection. What are you looking for? Again, simple, confident, non-apologetic, and then you redirect. You're not seeking approval. You're not justifying. You're just stating your truth and inviting her to do the same. This is the power of Stoic frame control. You're not trying to pass a test. You're not trying to prove anything. You're just being yourself. And that's the most attractive thing you can do. Here's the deeper truth that most men miss. She's not testing you because she wants you to fail. She's testing you because she wants you to pass. She's hoping you're the man you appear to be. She's hoping your age has given you wisdom. She's hoping your experience has made you strong. She's hoping you're different from every other man she's met. And when you pass the test, when you remain calm, grounded and self-assured, you give her exactly what she's been searching for. You give her permission to relax, to trust, to open up, to stop evaluating and start feeling. And that's when the magic happens. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Her tests are outside events. Her approval is outside your control. But your response, that's entirely within your power. And when you focus on what you can control, your calm, your frame, your self-possession, you become unshakable. And an unshakable man is magnetic. So here's what I want you to do. The next time you're in a situation where a woman tests you, whether it's one of these 2 questions or something else entirely, I want you to remember this. The test is not a trap. It's an opportunity. An opportunity to demonstrate your value, an opportunity to reveal your strength, an opportunity to separate yourself from every other man she's ever met. Don't seek her approval. Don't over-explain, don't justify, just pause, answer simply, redirect, and watch what happens. You'll notice something shift. She'll relax, she'll lean in, she'll stop testing and start pursuing, because you've just proven that you're the real deal. That your age isn't just a number, it's a marker of growth, of wisdom, of masculine maturity, and that's what she's been craving all along. This journey isn't easy. It requires self-awareness. It requires discipline. It requires the courage to let go of external validation and trust in your own internal compass. But it's the most powerful thing you can do, not just for dating, but for your entire life. Because when you master your reactions, when you control your frame, when you become emotionally unshakable, you don't just attract women, you attract respect, opportunity, peace. You become the kind of man people gravitate toward, the kind of man people trust, the kind of man people follow. And that's the ultimate transformation. If this resonated with you, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. What's one moment where staying calm changed everything for you? I read every single one, and I learned from your experiences just as much as you learned from mine. We're building something real here, a community of men who refuse to settle for mediocrity, who refuse to be controlled by external validation, who choose growth over comfort, who choose wisdom over ego, who choose strength over neediness. And if you're ready to join us, welcome. This is just the beginning. This is Stoic truth, where maturity becomes magnetic.